The fact that you guys would even want to listen is crazy to me. I mean, this is the corner of the circle, I guess. What it's about, real simple. People getting together, cracking jokes, talking trash, laughing a little bit, discussing current topics, old topics, really don't matter. But the cool thing is we get to crack the door open up the window, so to speak. Let you peek your head in, listen a little bit, be nosy. Either way, it's a good time. Glad you're joining us. This is the corner of the circle. All right, we're on. All right, man, we're cracking. Live and direct. This is Corner of the Circle. I'm your host, LS McLean. I have, dude, I don't even know where to start. I have a freaking dream team going on right now. I don't even know where to start. We'll go ladies first. We have a multi-time world champion, multi-time national champion, bodybuilding diva. She's been on the cover of all your favorite magazines. I believe she's lost a bet and is yet to own up to that bet, but it is what it is. Miss Marisa Inda, thank you very much for joining us.
What up?
Of course, I mean, the man, the myth, the legend, a lot of myth. He's everyone's favorite Nazi. He's my favorite Nazi. Mr.
I hope this isn't me.
Mr. Brandon Allen. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I can't really see myself doing any type of list, anything that's going to require any type of humor and not have Brandon around the corner somewhere. So he has the low key intelligence and the high key dickheadedness to it all, and he makes you like it the whole time. So you have to have Brandon on. All right, I got in trouble because of Brandon today, so we'll talk about that later. And of course, the man, the voice of the king of the lifts. You hear him on all the. If it's a major IPF event, you hear his golden pipes on it. He's a world-class lifter as well. Freaking, he's known for the six-pack, so much so that he actually named himself Six-Pack, Mr. Ryan. Six-Pack, clap for that. Thank you so much, man, for joining us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me on.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I was real nervous with this one, just because I was planning on just doing a list by myself. But I mean, like we had said off air, it's 2 heads are better than 1, and 4 are definitely better than none. And just having you guys on, obviously we have vast different perspectives of powerlifting represented amongst us 4. And the cool thing was, I was trying to think of, I was like, I know this guy, but I'm like, well, we actually need a female representation of somebody that's actually knowledgeable in the sport, that definitely has people and coaches people on either side of it. And actually, while Brandon's being mean about, but literally you're the first name that Brandon mentioned. I was like, yo, that makes perfect sense.
Well, that's because he's stalking me and he tries to emulate me and copy all of my posing. So,
Hey, I see what I like. I want to imitate it.
Hey, here's what it is. So, the way we kind of do this, for those of you that are tuning in, what we're going to be doing is we're doing a top 25 powerlifters in the game. Now, before you start thinking about making your mental list, as you hear us talking about it, understand that this isn't just about total. It's not just about what the numbers they put up on the platform. It's not tested. It's not untested. It's just the top 25 that we feel in the game, and what those 25 mean to us. And so, kind of the way that we looked at it was from the perspective of, number one, the impact they have on the whole powerlifting scene. So I'll let you know right now up top, these 3 that are on the screen right now, the 3 that you'll listen to, they're already on. They're on my list because I believe they all have huge impact in the powerlifting game, which speaks volumes about like who they are as people, who they are as lifters, especially Brandon, because Brandon is hurt. So it's hard to say that Brandon is in the game, but that shows the impact that he does have in the game by not being an active lifter right now because he is nursing injury, but still having an impact in it. So just off top, these 4, or I should say these 3, they're definitely on my list when we start going down that list. At the same time, not only are we thinking about impact, but also just thinking about if they're just decent people or not. Like, again, that's why I left 4 blank just in case I could be convinced with someone else. Because, let's be honest, there's some dicks in the game, dude. There really are.
Are we doing that list too?
Are we doing that list too?
Brother, that
Let's
could be
do
a
it.
whole.
Let's get him talking.
That could be a whole different
I have a
episode.
feeling
We'll
I
have
get the top
to
of
do
that
that one on
list.
broadcast.
We're
We're gonna say that one for broadcasters. That's definitely a broadcast. That's a broadcast that has broadcast written all
We
over
can
it.
do that on the broadcast for sure.
I'll tell you right now, if that,
right, you're right.
yeah, they could tear that one apart in broadcast, but I don't have enough followers. I don't have enough listeners to risk the ones that I have. So
We don't care.
yeah,
They
man.
don't like us anyways. They just listen to us to hear us fall.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I got in a little bit of trouble for my last broadcast episode, and I'm telling you, it was great. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Again, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, so we'll kind of go down the line. And what I did is I honestly started. I don't know how you guys want to start, but I think I want to start from 25 to number 1. I guess just for me, and it's gonna be weird because I'm gonna skip around in terms of numbers. I'll be honest with you. I literally start with a 25, and I'm gonna work my way down to my number 1. I'll skip a few, and I mean if you agree, cool. If not, that's fine. I think we can come up with a final list toward the end, and then like I said, I would love to get to our top 5 dead or alive lifters. And we'll just do that one off the cuff, and of course, your own personal Mount Rushmore. And this can go as quickly as we wanted to, it can go as slow as we wanted to. Is like Ryan had said earlier. I mean, I think it's gonna prove to be cool in terms of discussion and how we feel about the situations and the people that we put up. So off rip, I will put my number 25. My number 25 is you, my friend. Is Ryan Six-Pack LAPADAT. He's my number 25. Now,
squeaking in on 25.
Sneaking in at number 25. Now, again,
I'm invited to the party.
Listen, the things, it's not a knock, but it's the people that I have in front of you, they got a few more championships.
They do.
But here's the thing.
I was shocked.
But here's the thing. You are a good lifter, number 1. Number 2, you have a lot of impact because honestly, before there was a few accounts before the King of the Lifts. I mean, they were doing pretty well, but they didn't swell and go as big as you guys have. And at the same time, you guys have been able to, and I should say by you guys, I mean you've been able to really parlay that into something super special in terms of the powerlifting world. And honestly, it's one of those things is if you make that post on the King of the Lifts, like I did something, you know what I mean? And if you put something and you tag King of the Lifts and you don't get reposted, you're like, what the fuck? What happened? What did I not do? You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, I see this dude doing the same thing over and over and over. So yeah, it definitely has to be. I mean, as of right now, we got you sneaking at the 25 spot. Because I mean, I believe that's going to set the tone for everybody else we have coming up. I skipped 24. I skipped 23. I skipped 22. And at 21, I have Meg Scanlon. That's my 21. Honestly.
Oh, Meg.
Yeah. I have Meg. Meg kind of making in at number 21. And honestly, in my opinion, she's fairly new to the game. You know what I mean? And I mean, I'm sure Brandon doesn't even know who she is, but you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Meg, good old Meg.
Meg? Yeah, I know Meg.
I skipped 20. And she's hurt, but I have Jen Thompson at number 19. I have her at my number 19. Just because, like I said, she has a lot of impact. And I mean, obviously, her bench is absolutely out of this world and continues to be out of this world. I mean, I know she's been nursing a lot of injury, and she's been very selective in terms of her meets that she plans on actually competing with, which rightfully so. I mean, she's earned that right. She's been in the game a long time and been winning for a long, long time. And I know Six-Pack and I, we had talked about it before. I mean, is it a matter of her best lifting still, being behind her, or it being, she's still having some left in the tank? And I feel like she has some more left in the tank, but I think at this point in, her lifting career, she can afford to be selective in terms of when she comes back. There is no rush in terms of coming back. So, I mean, it's, she's honestly to go against Sam Calhoun, you got to be ready to roll. You know what I mean? And so,
about Meg Scanlon, we skipped a little quick, but
yeah,
broke multiple world records,
yes.
57 kilo. She's ran a marathon, an Olympic lifter, and does it all, man.
She really does it all. Shout out to Max for having her ready, brother, because I'm like, dude, you're absolutely crazy.
She's an A-list athlete, no question about it. We're lucky we got her in powerlifting.
For real. And so for my number 18, that's also a skip. My number 17, it's a skip. I skipped all the way to number 12.
Hey, kid, with these skips, does that mean you don't have someone there, or you just don't want to say the names?
What I did is I put stars next to those. Those aren't.
You didn't talk to Matt Gary to get his list.
No, yeah, those are because no. Here's what happened is
shots fired.
So what I did was, I have names, but they all have stars next to them. They're not in cement because they could either go up or down. You know what I'm saying? But what that does is that actually gives me my number 14. So I skipped all the way up to number 14, I should say. My number 14 actually is Brandon. Brandon is my number 14. And again, because he's hurt, I would have actually had him. I would have probably had Brandon top 10 prior to him getting hurt. The momentum he had, like the momentum that he was building up before he got hurt was freaking phenomenal. It's like, and it looked like you were about to throw up something really, really stupid. And we had talked about that before. But I don't, I think people that have followed your career and followed your progress, I think I think we saw something special that you were kind of building before you kind of got derailed, by getting hurt. I mean, you've had some dings here and there, just, throughout the career, but like that last one, I think I know it kind of deflated you a little bit, but I think like for us that were kind of fans, well, I mean, we still are, but not kind of fans, but those of us that were fans, I think it kind of pissed us off too, because like, when's this guy gonna like catch a legit break to be able to throw up something stupid? I think Boss of Bosses was, yeah, not a bad break. I think Boss of Bosses was just like an indicator of like, dude, this guy's got something huge coming up. And then, when you kind of got derailed, I'm like, oh shit, that sucks, dude. But
big dogs.
Big dogs.
Yeah.
Like, and
big dogs strip the pistols.
Yeah, dude. So, but I have Brandon at my 12 spot. So, so then after having Brandon at the 12 spot, number 11, Marisa Inda. I have her at my number 11
I like it when
spot.
Marissa's on top of me.
Oh my God! Why did I do that to myself? Sorry, Marisa. I'll change it.
I'm behind
Listen,
you.
It's floating. It's floating.
It's
a sandwich.
Sorry, baby girl. Sorry. I have Marisa at the number 11 spot. And my reason being having you at the number 11 spot is because one, I honestly feel like you're just now hitting your stride. You know what I'm saying? As a lifter. I mean, you've won a lot, and you've been really dominant. But I've noticed here lately that a lot of your lifting and there's more. How do I say it without sounding like your lifting style is becoming more dominant in terms of like your execution. So it would be easy to put you at
she's learning,
Yeah. Well, it would be easy to put you at a higher spot, but then that would be me, either a higher or lower spot, but that would be me just assuming like, all right, cool, that's it for her. She's where she wants to be. So, and you do a lot in terms of your impact. You have a huge impact. There's a lot of people that I know personally that, I mean, not only follow you, but started lifting because of you. I mean, and of course, just what you're able to do, like as a mother and, just a good mom, mind you. I think those are like huge, super amazing qualities that a lot of people look up to. So that I think that's a huge impactful quality that you bring to the game.
I think I yelled at him off camera.
Oh yeah. Yeah, listen, I mean, you guys like when the camera's rolling, you got to be freaking what's her name with June Cleaver? But shit, but when the camera's off, dude, you can beat them for all I care. I don't,
Wait.
Hey, listen, my mom used to give me right crosses for breakfast, so you know what I mean. Like, that turned out okay.
Beat me off.
My number 10, I have Russ, Mr. Russ Swole. And a lot of that is just kind of based off his wins and the momentum he kind of brings into the game. The guy has obviously a ton of followers, probably one of the most followed, power lifters in the game right now. His stock is hot right now. But I mean, I couldn't necessarily put him at a super top spot because I'm still looking for a more of a body of work. While he's done quite a bit, there's still a large body of work that I would look for, in terms of just execution wise, that before I can really propel him to that top spot. So Russ is at 10. Number 9, I have Kaler. I have Kaler at number 9. That dude's a freaking he's a crane. Literally put something in front of him, he can pull it. Seems like, and I mean, it's fun watching him and Yuri kind of go back and forth, like who's the man. So I have Kayla Willem at number 9. I cannot say her name. Mariana.
Mariana.
You know what I'm talking about?
Right?
Gasparian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have her at the number 8. As dominant can be, dude. I mean, and again, I don't care if you're tested, untested. What she does is, it's freaking unheard of, man. She just, I don't know, man. It almost pisses me off, especially when you actually have a chance to watch her. She executes at a very high level, so it's kind of fun to watch her. And at my number 7, I have Taylor Atwood. You know what I mean? Taylor just, in terms of a body of work, in terms of consistency, the guy's been as consistent can be. He turned it on about 3-4 years ago, and he never let off the gas. And it's been that way consistently over and over year after year after year. I also have, following Taylor up, I have at number 6, I have Yuri Belkin. This was my first year to watch. Look at Brandon, your list is coming, dude. I had a chance to actually watch Yuri for the first time in the back, and I don't know, man. To watch him actually perform was cool to watch him perform, but bro didn't seem like he was very happy. You know what I mean? So it was weird. Like,
That's Russian. That's Russian, my man. They're stoic.
Yeah, man. I was just like, dude, you're about to pull whatever. Put a smile on your face. But again, that's just me. But yeah, watching it was pretty. It's pretty sick. My number 5, it's one of my all-time greats. Is Kim Walford. I have her at the number 5 spot. She's been able to do so much in terms of just her position as a lifter, and I don't know, she's a good person. I think she's a real good person, and she's helped me out a lot, just personally as a lifter. So I have Kim at my number 5 spot, and number 4 I have Ray. I have Big Ray Williams at my number 4 spot. Now I was actually telling a couple of my boys about my list. Like, well, why do you have Ray at 4? Well, Ray has a huge impact. But Ray's got what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I can use, because Brandon's here, I can use Ray versus Brandon. Ray has a huge reach, he has a huge impact, you know what I mean? But Ray, obviously has a full plate, much like Brandon does. But Ray's not as vocal as, say, Brandon is. You know what I mean? Brandon has
not enough people hate Ray for him. Ray's still this like huge teddy bear that's going to receive a lot of hate. And, it's just because Ray's Ray. Brandon's going to get a lot of hate because Brandon doesn't give a damn what you think about him. He's going to let you know about it. And so it's kind of like, dude, I hate that guy. I like him, but I hate him. People want to watch me crash. That's
and it sucks because they're ready to watch the train wreck that is Brandon Allen, but he ends up freaking like, squatting some ungodly amount, benching some ungodly amount, pulling some ungodly amount, and you end up becoming a fan of a guy that you hate. So Brandon's like everyone's favorite villain. You can't help but like the guy, whereas Ray is just like, oh, that's a big tater, but I really like that guy. I'm going to hate on him if he doesn't squat 1,000 pounds.
I think you're turning Marissa on over there.
Say what?
Uh-huh.
So I have Ray at my number 4 spot. My number 3, I have Steffi Cohen. There's no doubt in terms of the impact that she has in the sport, the influence that she has in the sport. I mean, and she holds her own on the platform without a doubt. Her Wilks, obviously, she's a Wilks monster. She's out of she's freaking out of the stratosphere where the Wilks points and everything. So I have her at my number 3. My number 2, I have John Hack. John Hack is freaking killing the game right now, and he's a clown prince. He's a likable dude. That 2000 definitely gave him kind of gave him a boost in terms of just how much. I mean, people like him anyway, but that definitely put his name on a lot of people's minds. So I have John Hack at my number 2 spot, and my number 1 spot I have Amanda.
Alice McLean.
No, I have Amanda Lawrence. She's my number 1 right now. It seems like her stock is burning super, super hot. I don't know, man. It's crazy it's crazy to think that she's only been in the game a little bit, but
I mean, yeah, she's my number one spot right now in terms of just hot people in the game. Um, so I don't know. Someone else can go next.
I'll snowball on that. If
All
you
right,
guys
let's
don't
do it.
mind.
Let's do it.
Go ahead.
Okay. So rumor has it, I hit up. Look at, I'll come out with it. I shot a message as soon as you gave me this. I'm like, I gotta call, get my big brother to help me with my homework. So shot a message to Matt Gary, and who is been in the game for as long as some people been alive.
Yeah.
Probably Mandalorian's been alive. Speak of the devil. And dude help me out with my list. But you know, this was before. So before you had said it was like just Impact and some other intangibles like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was like all time period.
So you went
So
golden.
in terms of stats, nobody knows stats like Matt Gary. This
Yeah.
dude knows, like, he is a powerlifting librarian.
Dude, he's like
You know what I
Lieutenant Data of powerlifting, brother. Like, he knows all the stats.
Man, so but now that you said that, I tinkered with it a little bit because he had names on his list that I didn't even know, and it was gonna look silly when I started saying my list. But I'm a little more comfortable with this. So let me add a couple to this. A couple people that you didn't mention, because you mentioned a lot of the people would have been on my list anyways, so I don't necessarily got to double up. I might just add a couple tidbits here and there, but some of those people. In terms of Brandon, I think in terms, like, not only just his lifting, but what he's doing with the broadcast and his personality and hopping on other podcasts, it can't be understated, man. When people go on podcasts and other people's podcasts and put themselves out of their comfort zone, it helps push powerlifting forward. It has to be done. Some people don't tread outside of their comfort zone, and that's not going to help push the sport forward, man. Everyone's got to do their part. If everyone stayed in the comfort zone, we're not going to move ahead. And Brennan is supplying that market with the broadcast, and I think there's a hole in that market. Him and Andy.
Yeah,
so
man.
both of them. And having said that, Marisa having been on Ellen and was like as big as they get.
Exactly.
I mean, that's crazy. So that's got to be mentioned. It kind of sucks that she didn't let you talk about powerlifting beyond there, but still, that was hot. Everybody was proud when everybody was like, "We have a powerlifter on Ellen."
Dude, hella people were trying to do push-ups and shit, trying to do pull-ups and everything. I almost broke my freaking elbow trying to do it. Like,
I hate when people copy other people.
God.
See the podcast as well she puts out, and yeah, man, I think people coming up look up to her, so 100% she's on the list.
She puts out, yeah.
Oh my God. You guys are really giving Brandon way too much ammunition.
I tell you, it was great.
So a couple people that I want to add to the list. Dan Green. My man, for a while there, was the hottest man on YouTube. Everybody and their mother got, like, just straight up bodybuilders were like, you know Dan Green? You didn't even have to know powerlifting. Before powerlifting went boom goes dynamite, when IPF had that raw division and everything, Dan Green, he looked like he stepped straight out of a comic book. The man
Yes, he did.
No skinny champions. And he's that dude smashing all the records in all the different divisions. Everybody I knew was like, seriously, dudes who just went to the gym would watch Dan Green videos.
Yeah, see, I feel like a dick saying it, but I have Dan Green in my honorable mention just because, you know, he's been out. I won't say out of the game.
He hasn't competed for a while.
He hasn't competed for a while.
He's coming back.
So, I mean, and what I did is I just did it, you know, like, I was like, anybody that's competed within 24 months, 2 years.
Yeah.
And
You
so,
failed, Ryan.
What? No, it doesn't have to be current, right? This list?
no.
Yeah.
You're fine. Like, Dan Green is, listen, he's inching back in, so you're good.
Does wrestlers have to be people who have been lifting currently?
No, for me, that was my thing was like, I've looked at everybody that's competed within 2 years.
Okay. All right, we're good. Dan Green's, and you know, I think he did a bench only within 2 years.
Yeah. He's on the cusp, man. Dan Green makes I'm taking Dan Green out of the honorable mention. He's going right into that 24 spot.
Right.
Boom.
There we go, Dan. Now here's somebody also extremely influential to a lot of lifters, Johnny Candido. And he's back
John,
too.
he just started back. Johnny C.
And
That's
he's
a good
back
call.
And
Ooh.
how many people started powerlifting because of Johnny Candido, learned how to lift because of Johnny Candido before everybody had social media hype behind him? Johnny Candido was a social media
Johnny
king.
Candido. I'm going to have to take somebody out. Ooh, somebody's got to go.
100. Johnny Candido. Here's some. Who else did you miss?
Oh, I missed a lot. There's a lot of people I didn't mention, but I didn't have Johnny Candido at all on my list. I'm sorry, Johnny. Golly.
I got, you know what? I don't know if when the last time she's competed or anything, but Sarah Squats? No, Meg Squats.
Meg Squats. I listen, she's in my honorable mention. She competed, what, last year, right? No, 2 years. Was it? It was last year, yeah.
It was last year. She did nationals last year,
Yeah.
It's Candido. In terms of influence, and in terms of what she's done to grow the sport, same thing. So if in terms of that, and she fits the bill with having competed, so she makes the list. I would pop her on there. Did you say David Ricks? I know you.
No, yeah. Well, David Ricks is my. I didn't mention him. David Ricks is my 22 because you know I am about David Ricks. I know. I could have floated David Ricks all the way up to the 13th spot. I could have floated him all the way up to right behind Brandon. So
mine's a little bit different than your guys because David's on mine too, just for like having the quan. Like you got to be a showman, and like anyone who squats and closes their eyes the entire time.
Yeah, man, and it looks like it's so painful from the beginning to the end.
He closes them. I'm just like, how the hell does this guy not fall over? Like they just shut from the walkout.
He's summoning a higher power. The dude is 60 years old and was leading the 93 kilo boys after the squat event.
Yeah,
the dude was in his late 50s and breaking open world records. Dude. How many world championships did he win in the 90s when Amanda Lawrence didn't even exist? You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Some people are coming up, and they're and he's still here. So, anyways, David Rick's got to be on there. You said I got Maria T, but that's the Canadian in me because she
Maria's on my list as well.
And I thought that, and that's huge, especially with the Canadians. I got Wei Ling.
Yep.
I don't want to. Wei Ling.
Wei Ling's on my list as well.
I don't know when the last time she competed.
It's been like 5 years.
It's been like 3, like 4 or 5 years.
I mean, she does equipped, but raw, she hasn't done that
the
in
last
about
time,
5 years.
The last time I saw her compete is when she did. Wasn't it like she did like equip and she like unracked it, re-racked it, unracked it, re-racked it like 3 or 4 times. That's the last time I've seen her.
That was about 3 years ago.
Yeah, so she's Marisa's like she's gone.
She's so on the rules about this. As soon as she found out,
she's Latina. There's no bending the rules with Latinas.
No, dude.
They make it the rules as they go. They enforce them. Whatever ones they want to enforce. That's how it goes. You don't fuck with Latino women.
Like 4.5 years ago. Okay, that's 6 months shy of the limit. Let me see who else I got because I think I got a couple. I got Bonica Brown.
Yeah, Bonica's.
Because I mean, she's a trifecta. She won the trifecta 1 year World Championship Equip, World Championship Classic, and the World Games, and running, causing a dynasty.
I have Bonica.
I got Anna Rose Castellane. The woman is an absolute beast. Been in the game for a hot minute, will not go away, keeps winning championships, 72, 84.
Her as well.
What do you want? And is she also in the 72 kilo class?
Yeah.
Just Kimberly Walford's all-time total record.
Yeah.
So the battle is on. She got pushed off the podium. She's like, that's
not anymore. That's not gonna happen again. Yeah, Anna's on mine as well.
So she's on the list for me. And who else? Oh, I don't know if you said this. I got Jaroslav Olek from Poland. My man is in the front. Listen to me now. 74 kilo boy, 18 years straight.
Yeah. I don't know how I forgot about him because I couldn't say his name.
Is there a bigger dynasty in sports, period?
You didn't have Matt, Ella.
Well, no, I had both Russians. I have both Russians. I have the 59 and the 66. I have both of them on the list, but I don't know how to say their name, so I'm not gonna say their name.
Matt schooled me on how to say names, but no, but my man, if you think about 18 years straight and never losing, even Ray took a loss at some point. A dynasty come to an end. The dude's in his mid-40s and still not going away. Like it's crazy at the run he's having. And when it comes to equipped, there's so many different variables when it comes to equipped. There's so many more variables.
But I feel like that's why he can last so long. That equipped, bro.
That's a variable. Oh, jeez. The licking of the lips was.
I was just getting the whiskey out of my mustache.
That sounds more professional.
When I tell you, Brandon Allen is the best for TV, brother. I'm telling you.
So, and there we go. And so, you know what? I'm throwing Brett Gibbs on that list. And let me say, when Brett Gibbs and John Hack had the showdown in 2016, that was a moment.
That was
a moment in
honestly,
terms
that
of
was a
live
turning point.
Huge.
Especially with IPF powerlifting.
Forget about it.
That's when we started doing numbers. That was
in terms of powerlifting, period. Tell me a live stream, any Fed, any whatever live stream that had that kind of hype. That was the first where people on social Instagram. Well, I don't know, but anyways, I don't think the
this
numbers
is
are there.
true.
But
Well, no,
it was-
Big Dog, dude,
it was
Big Dogs
crazy.
is huge.
No, but 2016, John Hack Gibbs was like SPD was making posters with them doing stare down. So
do they total over 2,400 pounds? Because that was the total at Big Dogs.
Yeah, and it was
That was
like
the
a lot
podium.
of them, like all 5.
3 of them.
I watched that.
2,400 pound
Brandon.
total ever. Yeah.
Brandon, that's why you're on my list, and you're the only one from Big Dogs that's on my list.
Brandon's list is basically Big Dogs 1, 2 to 4.
Well, listen, no, I mean,
Wait,
there's
was
no.
there
The thing is,
anything
there's a.
else?
You, Brandon.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few guys from Big Dogs that have some
Yeah,
pretty
I have
decent
Peter
impact.
Petras and Dylan Helvergel. I mean, you can't have a list without Dylan because he's like the first guy to pull over 900 and squat over 1,000 in the same meet. So
And he did
This
that
is
in
true.
like 2 years of powerlifting training.
yep, and he's like 22 and 6'7".
Yeah.
Do you want to take? You can go. That's pretty much my addition to LS.
Does
I mean-
anybody have Andre?
I'm
course.
sure. I'm sure.
Okay, I was gonna say. I'm glad I left
Andre's
a lot.
number
Listen,
one on my list.
guys, I did this. I'm a genius because by not saying all my people, I'm giving people a chance to get in here.
No, this is true.
Listen,
Well, mine is a little bit
y'all,
different
my
because I
list
kinda went
is
off of like, showmanship and like who's exciting to watch because powerlifting is fucking boring. And it's
True.
only fun to watch lifting when the lifters are exciting because there's a lot of like really strong lifters. I'm not gonna name any names that are boring as fuck. Like they're
this
boring.
is true. This is true.
So like, of course, Brandon made my list because you just never know what he's gonna do. I didn't know like when
Brandon's
he's in
a
Big
wild
Dogs,
card,
he's gonna
man.
like pull his nipples. Who knows?
Brandon's an absolute wild card.
LSU, of course, made my list as well for the same reason. Like every time LS goes, he's like smiling, he's winking at the freaking audience. So it's just like there's like showman
Listen,
skills that go into it. Like for the guys that there's a lot of guys that were mentioned. Ryan as well made my list just because you're fun to watch. You're a personality that everybody knows. So when you
Exactly.
know the person that's listening, you're more invested
this is
in
true.
watching them. You either want
Exactly.
them to win or you want them to fucking lose because you hate them.
Exactly.
But I don't hate you, by the way.
End off on that. I was like, please.
And that'll be the end of the show, guys. We appreciate everybody for coming.
and that's what makes it like fun to watch. That's
Right.
why and of course if you're lifting really big weights, that's why Peter Petras, Dylan, it's like those guys are fun. Thor made my list because he came over from strongman to do
Same here.
powerlifting and everybody was like really excited to watch him. And I think they were really excited. A lot of people were rooting against him. They wanted to fucking
I
pay.
was.
Listen,
Hey, Brandon, I remember
here's
you
my
saying,
thing. I just
wanted him to
I
be
was
Big Dogs.
I was excited that Thor came over, but I was just like, I just feel like as powerlifters, while we are a very, very, very welcoming community, I'll be the
Yeah, right.
first to admit that. But we're also like, nah, this is our sport, bro.
I thought the opposite because I thought, okay, he's a big personality. People know him from Game of Thrones
Yeah.
and acting. So that actually just brings people to the sport.
I didn't want to beat any of my
Okay,
friends,
doing
dude.
this. Well, I mean, that's competition.
I know,
Like,
but I just didn't
I
want
can
him to beat
fucking
any of my friends. I'm like, hold up. These guys are, and like, this mountainous of a man is going to come in. And honestly,
Ellis, I'm your only super heavyweight friend. He didn't beat me. Don't worry about it.
I know. Here's the thing. And I'm not knocking Thor, but I think because of his
And
sheer
it sounds
size.
like you're knocking Thor.
Let me finish what I gotta say. I'm not knocking Thor in any form or fashion. What I'm saying is, I thought that honestly in my head, I'm like, this dude is gonna come in, immediately squat like 1,400 pounds. He's gonna be throwing around 800-900 pounds on the bench. He's gonna pull damn near 1,000 pounds every time. But again, I tend to sometimes forget
So
that
you had too high
strongman
of
doesn't
expectations
necessarily.
for him.
I didn't think strongman was. I forget that strongman doesn't necessarily translate over to powerlifting as much as I assumed that it would. So when he got
But I
in the
think
game,
it's
I'm
kinda good that it didn't because now he's got it. He had to have to work for it. It's not as easy as people thought. So I thought that was like kind of a good thing. That
yeah,
yeah,
and that's where
live up to the expectations.
yeah,
Let's not
I'm
forget he
completely
put up a
with you on that.
2,400 pound total too.
Yeah,
That's
I
nasty.
mean,
yeah, like I was just like, man, I thought he was gonna come in and just like demolish all my friends that I know for years and years have devoted their lives to this craft that is powerlifting.
He kind of did though.
Well,
And
he did.
A thing about Thor that a lot of people know, this was not his first meet. He's competed 4 or 5 times previously.
See, and I wasn't aware of that. Yeah.
And this was like in 2012 and 11. So he's been in the game for a minute.
Right.
He just did powerlifting and strongman, and then now decided to submit a training block to powerlifting and did very well.
Yeah.
And I don't think he would have done as well at Big Dogs in Australia because it's just a whole another element with the traveling and everything, and then the competition and everything like that. He did it at home in the backyard meet. Very fair judging. I mean, I watched everything. It looked great.
Right.
So, I'm not going to say like he had a bullshit total. That's by no means the case. In fact, his squat looked really good.
Yeah,
but, again, I was there and it was called high. And
it was fair. Yeah.
yeah. So again, he's not. It's not like he just jumped in and did it. So just remember that. Like, that's, he worked for it for sure.
I hope he does another one because it would be cool to see him do another training block and see what he could do. And
I would like to see him
that
against,
people expected him to do.
You guys.
Yeah.
What I would like to see would be a nice.
Hey, spotlight on me, LS.
Yeah.
I know. I just want to see Brandon Allen nice and healthy. Brandon, hurry up.
All
Do
right,
whatever you
so
got to do. Get healthy.
The other 2 guys that made my list that you guys didn't mention were Larry Wills.
Oh,
he's on my list.
Yeah.
He was on my list and he
True.
got taken off.
And Dennis.
Oh. And what's
Who?
Dennis.
Cornelius. He's
Oh
on
yeah,
my list.
Dennis Cornelius. He's on my floating list. I skipped a lot of people
You
because
got a lot of fucking floaters, LS.
first of all, Marissa, thank you very much.
She's counting you. That's over 25.
Listen,
You're trying
when I told you guys have a list of honorable mentions, I have my list of honorable mentions.
How many times did I see that list?
All I'm saying is this.
Get him, Marissa.
All
Get
I'm
him.
saying is this. I hate you guys so much. This is over.
She's all over it. You
Hey
better
guys,
watch when
is
you
it too
talk.
late? We got to get somebody different. This isn't working out.
Let me do my women. So the women you didn't mention that are on my list: Cece Holcomb.
Yeah, she's on my list.
Yep.
She's amazing.
Yep.
Also, showmanship purposes, Heather Connor. People either love her or hate her.
Yeah, she's bad.
She comes across
Honestly, I didn't even think about
cocky
Heather.
to some
Dang,
people, and some people just don't like that. But on the flip side, it does make it fun to watch. I remember that one nationals where everyone was talking about her because she was sitting on the deadlift bar after she deadlifted, and people were pissed.
Really?
Yes, people
yeah.
were talking mad shit about that. And a part of me was like, it's kind of makes it more interesting to watch, even if you don't like it, because she's a showman. Love or hate her, you watch to see what the fuck she's gonna do.
True.
And not just because of her lifts, it's like the antics afterwards. And I know some people don't like that, but because the sport is boring and it's kind of a fringe sport, you need to have some sort of showmanship on that stage. And so she made my list for that reason. Also, Isabella.
Oh yeah, Isabel von Weissenberg.
Von Weissenberg?
Yeah. I like watching her lift, and not only because she's pretty, but
I didn't know.
that is part of it. She is a pretty girl, and it's cool to see pretty girls that are strong as shit. And then she's also got like showmanship behind her and like a really huge fan base, which I think is good for the sport.
But has she competed in 2 years though?
Made my list because she's also really fun to watch. She's really vested in the sport. And Jen Milliken, can't have a list without Jen Milliken because she's my girl. She's strong, and I think people just really like her because they know that she's hella dedicated. And then also Jen Rotzinger. Even though I don't think her squats would pass if she came to the USAPL because they look borderline to me, but I mean, she is the first 114-pound lifter to total 1,000 pounds.
True story. Very true.
What did you say in there, LS? You said something, but I didn't hear it.
Oh, I don't even know what I said, man. I forget.
God damn.
What? Damn it.
In regards to what?
Was it about Weisenberg? Did she?
Yeah, has she competed within 2 years though?
She did
Oh,
well.
yeah. She was in Sweden.
Oh my God, she was in Sweden. I was thinking about.
So, hello, my list.
No,
really,
time out. I
You
was
thinking of Sophia? The other Swede, the small little Sophia?
no,
won 3
I
world
was thinking
championships?
about Canada.
Sophia Locke?
Remember when
Yeah.
she didn't
Yeah,
get a
she
chance to
hasn't
compete in
competed
Canada?
in 2 years.
Who were you thinking about, LS?
No, I was thinking about Isabel, but I remember when she didn't compete when we were in Canada. That's what I was thinking about.
Ah, yeah. I think and even then though, I think she competed in the interim, but like nationally in Sweden.
Yeah.
But
That's what I was thinking
anyway.
about. Sorry.
I just think she's a fun lifter to watch. Maybe not the strongest in the world, but like I said, it's fun to watch lifters that, execute clean lifts. She's not terrible to look at when she's doing it. And for that reason, Butner made my list as well. Sorry.
No, hell yeah. That's another Canadian girl.
She's
That's why
Canadian.
Marissa's on
Oh
my list.
yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
so
Oh my
but,
gosh.
and I know that people are probably going to be like, "Oh, you shouldn't say that," but I do think that it is cool to see really strong chicks that also like.
Are we doing top 25 hot? Are we
Uh,
doing
Yeah,
next?
Broadcast.
That's probably a broadcast one, but
That's
no,
another broadcast one.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's
All right,
fair.
Brandon, you're up, big dog.
All right, so I listened to the rules that you guys said, and I said fuck you. I didn't follow any of them. So I just did like a top 5, a top 10, and a top 15, and kind of just within those groups, no particular order. And then I have like, I guess as LS calls it, my honorable mention. And all these people are, I've chose this list based off, when I came into sport was 2013. So you have to remember who was influential at that time, and it was all Raw. So I literally only have 2 geared lifters on the sport and, or on this list. And, actually, well, a couple guys do both, but for the most part, it's all Raw. And, it's going to be biased, obviously, USPA. I don't know much USAPL people, but I do know a few. So I just went ahead and made stars next to people that you guys kind of mentioned that was on my honorable mention type list. And that's like Russ Swoll, Dennis Cornelius, LS, Dylan Hellraiser, Odell Manuel, Kaler.
Oh damn.
Guys like that.
Oh my God.
In one way or another, they're doing something good for the sport, whether it's putting out podcasts, putting out content, lifting huge numbers, huge followings, just being influencers, or up and coming guys like Dylan and things like that.
Dadgum,
there's people on here that you guys didn't mention who I'm quite ashamed of all of you.
No,
Jesse Norris.
he hasn't competed. No, hold on. No. Jesse Norris hasn't competed in 2 years. That's the only reason. Like you can't do that.
Needs to be on that list. Rick, another one that no one mentioned who I think has had a bigger impact, or at least brought a lot of attention to sport, was Dana Lynn Bailey. When she switched to powerlifting, I know she didn't compete in 2 years, Marissa, but when DLB switched into powerlifting, that brought a ton of girls with it.
This is
and
true.
Like I said, for every one girl competing, there's 5 guys chasing that ass that are only in the sport to look at that ass. So when you have someone that can bring a couple 100,000 girls in, that brings a lot more guys, which brings a lot more money and a lot more attention to the sport.
True.
Now, on this list, I got a lot of my friends. Andy,
Andy's on there.
Julius, I think Julius should be on there. Daniel Bell, I think Daniel Bell's on track to break the all-time world record coming up.
Good call.
Steve Dintelli, he's had a rough year, but he's another guy who's a big influence. Steve Johnson, Yuri. The Baldo is another big one we didn't mention. But again, I don't know how to categorize these guys because they're not that important. They are important to me in some way, but they're important enough to make my list, but not important enough to be a top 15. Now, on my top 15 section, about 5 people, they've all been mentioned. Actually, now I'm up to 6 because I had to move someone up. But Dan Green was someone who I think is huge in the sport. When I came in, everyone wanted to be like Dan.
Yep.
Larry Wheels has brought more eyes to the sport than any of us could imagine. You know what I mean? Just because he's so just talented and getting out there and different people. You got to remember he's got 1.5 million followers on Instagram. So does Hathor, but Larry Wheels has never been on Game of Thrones. So
that's true.
It's crazy his following. And Hathor's on my list because same thing. Game of Thrones. People watched our sport that have no idea what the fuck powerlifting is just because they knew who Hathor was. So that was awesome. And, I was vocal when Hathor was doing a meet, and that was just because I wanted him to compete with us at Big Dogs.
Yeah.
Because I knew that him competing at home on his own terms was going to be compared to our numbers at Big Dogs, which is totally different because we traveled, we competed on that day. I took attempts I would not have taken if I was just trying to patent my total.
Right.
So, but again, nothing against him. It's all positive for him coming into the sport. Steffi Cohen, she's not a fan of mine. I'm a fan of hers, which is fine. She's had a huge impact on our sport, and a lot of people are involved in it. And everyone hears about Steffi. Cece, Cece's done insane things. She's making a transition to bodybuilding. Good for her because she'll get a lot more publicity that way and be able to grow herself financially. And she'll always be one of the most bad motherfuckers there is. And she can turn it into a training block going heavy, just like Larry can, and do something silly. So that's the top 15. Top 10, these people are a little more impact on me. Definitely the top of that list is going to be Eric Lillybridge for me. Eric was the best coming in, and he was who I wanted to be like in terms of strength, and wear around the same weight, the same age, same everything. I finally got a chance to compete against Eric at Big Dogs 4-3, and that was a great experience. Eric Spoto probably has the biggest impact on me getting into powerlifting. He was the only person who I talked to in social media into powerlifting that like took the time out to talk to me, and he's one of the reasons why I moved. Not one, he's the reason why I moved to Las Vegas was to train with Eric and Stan. So
wow.
yeah, he's a big reason. And Brandon Lilly's another one.
Yeah, man, Brandon Lilly. Jeez.
He's had a huge impact on me. Raw, multiply, the whole thing. Single ply, he does it all. He was the top dude coming in, animal and all that. Here's my equipped lifter. I'm sorry, Marissa, I didn't even say your name because we're talking, but you're on my top 15 on that list. And the top 10 equipped lifter and female is Becca Swanson. Now, she may not be popular, or people might not know who she is. Maybe some of you guys follow her OnlyFans page, but she's a badass chick. Only female ever to do 2,000 pound total. Yes, it was multiply. It's still insane. Then there's Mark Bell. Now, Mark Bell is on my list. I don't, me and Mark Bell aren't exactly buddies. I don't hate him by any means, but let's be honest, who the fuck knew about powerlifting before Bigger, Stronger, Faster? I mean,
True
he
story.
brought a lot of people into the sport, me, myself included. And just with Slingshot, everyone knows a Slingshot. Everyone wants to be a part of Slingshot. So that's why he's up there. Now, my top 5, this is in really no particular order. I can make an argument for these guys to be moved around in any way. Just for argument's sake, I'll just say number 1 is Andre Mahalajev.
Without a doubt.
Biggest total, raw, mind you, I keep saying total, biggest total. I'm talking about raw only, obviously, right? So, and it's raw with reps at that. So Ray Williams would be right up here in the top 5 if I was just going off performance, but I'm not. So obviously, yeah, Andre Mahalajev, that's where he is close to the top. Next one's going to be Stan Efferding, like I was just saying with Eric Spoto. He's how I got into the sport. He's brought so many fucking people to the sport. He's very knowledgeable. He's always helping. And, love him or hate him, he's done a lot of good things. One that's definitely more personal for me and who makes the top of my list is Chad Wesley Smith. For not just for reasons of his lifting, he's very underrated as a lifter, because people, when I talk about Chad, they don't really know him as a lifter. They just know him as a coach, which is who he is now, right? Yeah. But Chad is one of the best powerlifters.
True story.
For sure.
True story.
And just his contributes to the strength sport with his knowledge and things like that. Chad, indirectly or non-directly, I've learned a lot of I know through Chad, whether because I watch every single Juggernaut video that's ever been put out, and he puts out I buy his books, I buy his all the power guides, all this stuff. It's just he puts out a ton of shit. What's that?
Said fangirl.
Yeah, I like Chad, and I like the new podcast, by the way, the Game X. I'm sorry, YouTube.
I would have had a different list if we could have just went 5 years back. Fuck, cheater.
Now, the next 2 guys are in that top 5, and these guys are out of my realm or out of my generation, but they've had such a huge impact lasting on the sport. The top of them, I would say, is Eddie Cohen.
Of course.
It's hard to go stay without him because he's just, again, I wasn't watching Ed Cohen videos when I was coming up. I didn't know who Ed Cohen was. He's a single ply guy and older, and he's done some incredible things. And the more I learn about the sport, I realize how much of an impact he's had. Now, another guy, an older guy who has had an impact on me is Kurt Kowalski. Now, I've been watching his videos, anything I can get on Kurt.
Captain Kurt.
And, his videos don't get you fired up. I don't know what the fuck will, but
you don't have pulse.
Motherfuckers. There's a lot of other guys I didn't name that could be on this list. Josh Morris was the first 2,400 pound sleeve total, I believe. Maybe that was Ray, but Josh was in our world, in the non-tested world. A couple other guys, Kevin Oak, deserves to be up there, and Steve Johnson. I'm not going to go through all of them, but that's my list. Fuck the rules.
If we're going
better than all yours.
If we're going all time, let me throw the biggest name you could possibly think.
Oh, let's take ourselves a little bit of break. Why don't you get on up, stretch out a little bit. I don't know, just kind of relax a little bit before we start the second half of the Corner of the Circle. While you're waiting, we'll let you know that this has been brought to you by the one and only sponsor, McLean & Circle, for all your apparel needs. You already know what it is, McLean & Circle, Corner of the Circle, a lot of circles. Don't worry about it. Let's get back to it.
Who's the biggest name we could possibly think? Think huge. If we can go as far back as you want. It's probably too big. Think huge.
I would go Kazmaier.
Yeah.
Kazmaier? Kazmaier's good. Kazmaier's one.
Kazmaier would be one.
People that I don't have much knowledge on either.
You come up with this yourself, though, Ryan.
I would say Mark Henry.
Listen to this. I'm gonna give you a hint. He won the German powerlifting championship.
We're not going with Arnold, brother.
Yeah,
We're not going with
Fuck
Arnold.
He has had no influence on powerlifting.
Yes, he has, for sure. The Arnold
Yeah.
Classic.
Listen,
Listen.
I know, I see what you're trying to do, and while I
Coleman would be over Arnold.
Yes.
like honestly, I would,
Same for powerlifting.
yeah, I mean, because honestly, if that's the case, then I would have to make an argument for Mark Henry. Mark Henry,
Yeah.
Yes.
Mark
Mark
Henry,
Henry.
he's had
He was
just as
on my
big as
list.
reach.
He was on my list until I knew the rules.
Yeah, like
well,
so
Brandon cheated, so whatever.
you know what I mean. But
And
the
now
thing
Lazarus
is,
just keep adding to his list and then pretending like it was already there.
Yeah, it was there.
It was there.
first of all, it's right here.
No, it wasn't. You've been writing.
What I've been writing. Listen, listen.
Writing.
This is what I've been writing. I've been trying to write a final list compiled
That's
of all
black
our
pen,
stuff.
and you have writing in blue pen. We can see you cheating.
Oh my god. I cannot wait to dice you guys via social media. I've been literally listening to what everyone said to come up with a final list that's comprised of everything that you guys have been saying. 'Cause that's what a good host does. I don't just beat people down. Okay? Cheese and
Me
rice.
and Andy just fucking get high and just joke about shit, and then
I
call
know,
it a day.
dude. But okay, so this is what I mean, just from what I have so far, of the 25 that pretty much that we either all mentioned or they were just super great points that, I'm going to throw one out there and tell me what you guys think. Bryce Lewis.
World champ. Seven-time national champ.
Would we
I like Bryce.
would we
and his coaching and not just lifting, but his coaching as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's impacted the game, which changes things as well.
Yeah.
So world champ and impacts the game because he's got a gang of lifters that are all world class.
Exactly.
So
I mentioned the only coach worth mentioning. Thank you.
And then, but then again, if we were going to go with that, then I'll have to say it. And you probably don't want me to say it, but I'd have to say Joey Flex. Because let's be 100. If we're talking about impact of the game, we're talking about Russ. We're talking about John Hatt.
But you have to remember, Chad is the only coach who's coached in every IPF.
Chad, first of all, there's
he
some.
doesn't have to bump Chad out though. He doesn't have to bump Chad out though. He
But
can be
listen,
alongside.
he already mentioned Chad.
No,
I'm just mentioning another coach.
I agree. They have him and Tina have like a
Yeah.
shit ton of people, and I mean even beyond ability, it's also just their coaching style.
But then I would
Like,
also, but then I could
they're
also.
also a team that will like, fuck. Even if I ask Tina to run to Target and get me some Pedialyte,
Exactly.
she's not coaching me. She'll go and get it.
Exactly.
Chad won it.
You know what I mean? But
social media
but then
impact
at the
is
same time,
whatever.
could we not include Max in that? Because Max has done a lot.
Yeah,
in terms
Max has for lifting too. But I think he's more well known in the weightlifting community, and now he's just starting to be known in like the powerlifting side of things. But yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. Joey.
Because honestly, we could go.
They have like 50 million US APL competitors.
we could easily do a top 10 coaches list without it.
I think it's just out because people don't know them outside the US APL.
Yeah,
right.
Like we could talk about Jailhouse Strong. We could talk. Man, there's so many people out there. Brandon's picking up steam. Yeah, that might be another one. You might just have to have a broadcast list. Because like this is exhausting. You need to feel what I feel. But as far as the list goes, what I have, I thought were some really good ones. I have Johnny Candido. Okay, I have Thor because he's mentioned by more than one person. Cece, Heather Connor, Dennis Cornelius, dude. And honestly, you hit a home run when you mentioned Odell, dude. I can't even believe I didn't even think about him. Like I remember the first time I ever saw him lift, like that dude is unreal. And
he's super nice.
Is he a super nice guy?
He's one of the nicest guys
like
to
one
meet.
of the nicest people ever.
We have Russ on there. Again, another home run that you hit. Daniel Bell, like, dude, Daniel Bell was one of when I first got into powerlifting. Like Daniel Bell was one of the first people I actually tried to make a beeline to go like talk to, and he actually had a line of people surrounding him, which was crazy. Because
Daniel Bell did.
Yeah, it was like he was surrounded.
Wow.
This big bear of a dude just surrounded by all these people.
It must have been like in his hometown with like at his home gym. Maybe it was a high school reunion or something.
It must have been like I tried to get to the guy and I could not get to him.
Too much fucking credit.
Amanda, I have Amanda Lawrence on there. What about Danielle Mello? Would she be considered
would we have her on this?
Look, her showdown and her rivalry with Amanda Lawrence 100% has impacted women's powerlifting in general. For that reason, and everything she did in Belarus when she was a teenager and rewritten all the open records, 100%. Yeah, I think she can make the list. For sure.
Another female.
Another Troy Flex lifter, by the way.
Yep. No, is she still?
Both of them. Well, at the time when she won Worlds, she was. Just in terms of historically speaking, what Joey's done with his resume, he brought her world record. He brought Lawrence a world record or championship. So his resume is huge. But anyways.
Someone to keep an eye on who I've been working with recently, she's got a big meet coming up, is Eva Dunbar.
Yeah.
She's got some nasty numbers, and she's getting ready to break the all-time world record and her category in sleeves on December 21st.
Stacey Burr won the all-time Wilks as well, and she up there.
So I have that. I have obviously John Hack, and I have John Hack and Steffi Cohen, both of them on there. Almost everyone mentioned Ray, so Ray's on there.
Carrillo.
Oh shit.
Come on, man. We said Julius Maddox. Look at Alessa's face.
That's right. Kirill broke the super heavyweight world record in sleeves.
That was like it's like the home run record in baseball that never fell. He held that bench only record for
man. So
not that long. Eric held it longer. But I mean, he should still be holding it technically. But Julius is going to break that record.
Yeah, Julius is definitely going to break. Julius has got some steam right now.
He's got an amazing story and everything too.
So Kirill, we'll have Kirill. We're gonna come back to him. I don't have him in the top 25 yet, but
okay.
Because is Kim Wofford yes or no? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Hear about this? What about this? Here's one that no one mentioned. I thought somebody was gonna mention him, but no one mentioned him. Christoph. Visbecki.
Dude, 105 and multiple time 93 kilo champion. His deadlift is ridiculous. And he has a deadlift killer. In the deadlift only.
Or would he be a top 25 or would he be an honorable mention?
Oh wait, are we compiling both lists? Is this what's happening?
We're just compiling all lists. That was just one that no one. I had him on the honorable mention, my little honorable mention pool.
I see something for mean something. Matt Gary had him on his list. Just saying. The librarian. I'm just saying.
Brandon's I don't know. Who is this Matt Gary character?
I don't know. Does Matt know powerlifting? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think we should Photoshop Matt's face over Ryan's when we.
Right. So would we consider Christoph for this list, or would he be an honorable mention?
Brandon doesn't know who he is, so he's got to.
I don't know who the fuck a Christoph is.
Okay. All right. I guess he would be almost like the IPF version of Yuri Belkin. Almost.
Okay. So no one cares.
Yeah. Okay.
Little
moving
people.
Moving on. That takes care of that. Sorry, Christoph.
No, I like Yuri. Yuri's a badass lifter too. It's just
what about
Sam
Calhoun? Is she stay on the list or no? Is she Sam Calhoun? Is she a top 25 or a no?
The thing is, she's going to bump somebody who's won worlds and sends pacing to, but the list who you take off.
Yeah. It's really hard. It's hard because I think we all had a list for different reasons.
That's
true.
Because as of right now, I mean, we've all been in agreement, but now we're right where this is where Bonica and Sam Calhoun meet. Because I have them neck. I have not necessarily neck to neck.
Oh, them.
Here's the thing.
Bonica's like one of the first women to squat over what
600.
600, yeah. Well,
both equipped and in
and we're talking. Remember, we're talking about impact as well. So I'm keeping Bonica.
Bonica's impact in terms of like her man. Look, Sam Calhoun in 10 years, if we had this conversation, I would be shocked if she's not on the list. But right now, she's fitting to win these world championships and at it. But at this point, Bonica's won like a dynasty. So
she is a dynasty.
Tough, you know.
All right, so Bonica,
and she wears better eyeshadow. So
yeah, she does.
And then
like a stripper that Marissa's familiar with.
Bonica, I have Kaylor. Obviously, we skipped over. We didn't really skip over him, but I mean, I think everybody mentioned I have Andy Wang. I have him on the list, and I have obviously, like I said,
Bro, we're gonna bring you back on the broadcast. Relax.
I'm fine with that, but I'm saying Andy. I have Andy on the list. Is Andy? I mean,
He's on my list. He's one of my good friends.
what about Mister? You good with Andy or no?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. Six
If
pack,
we're
you
doing-
good with it?
Because we're doing like impact and everything, so
Yeah.
you would have people like Johnny Candido and shit too. Or what do you guys think?
No,
I
Johnny's
feel
on
like
there.
this list is way more than 25.
Yeah, that's the problem.
No.
It's
Listen,
tough.
I'm literally.
This is hard.
This is only 25. That's why I'm like, are we keeping them or are we getting rid of them?
That damn paper.
Note to self: never have Marisa on anything. God dang it! You just freaking
Well,
crucifying me every time.
Brandon's list is all scratched because he cheated and
I cheated. My list has been written one time.
And he's got stars. So okay, so I'm keeping Andy on there. Six pack, like I said, I have you on my 25 spot because of you do have a lot of impact.
Thank you, sir.
Brandon, you're still
mean,
on my
you've been
list.
on
Marisa,
American
I don't know
Got
how Marissa's still on my list, but she's still on the list.
She's on my list for a lot of reasons.
Oh man. Anna,
Sorry,
okay.
idiot.
So now we're literally down to 1, 2, 3. Actually, we're only really down because I have Andrei Melnichev. He's on the list. So I mean, that's a
He
no-brainer.
has to make the list. Anyone who can be backstage like slobbering and having like a blonde padded up and then go out and score.
Yeah.
I heard some stories about Big Al and Big
Growing up,
Dogs.
It was insane.
I have actually, obviously, I have Yuri on there. I think we're all in agreement that Yuri's on there.
Yeah.
Mariana, she's on there, and so that brings me down. We literally have 2 spots left.
Did you put yourself on the list yet?
No, hell no.
Okay, so hang on a sec. Let me say something.
Yeah, you should be on the list. You're on my list. You're on Marissa's list.
So listen, what you did in Belarus, man, in terms of like impact and storyline, when you went in there as a 4th alternate, this is like one of those inspirational stories, not to get all over you, man, but you were 40 years old, a 4th alternate, walking into Belarus. What's that?
I didn't know Ellis was 40.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
black
why.
don't crack. You know what
That's
I mean, girl?
why I was expecting a little bit more respect from you, Marisa. But apparently,
Hey,
that's
show
not
him
going to
that
happen.
PC. Show
In
him that
terms
PC.
You could make a freaking documentary about it. Like, in terms of, he had to have 3 people not go. Then he made the team, and nobody was looking that way. The middle-aged man who's a 4th alternate wins the world championship. That's a huge. Comes back, does it all over again in Calgary, back-to-back as an alternate, winning world championships. While a middle-aged man, like that, those are. It's a sporting moments, right? And podcasting, commentating, yada yada. For sure, dog. You got to be on there.
Okay, I'll take that spot. You just inspired me to.
And he gives male cheerleaders hope everywhere.
Actually, that's Dan Green. Dan Green
Yeah,
gives.
I know, Dan Green is.
I was like, damn, I could do that if he does it.
Except
All
for you're probably like 15 years older than Dan Green. Or no,
Thanks.
more like 5.
How old is David?
When I hear 40, I'm just like, wow.
Okay, so then we have 1 spot left. We have 1 spot left then. And so I'm looking through everything. I know it. Brett Gibbs.
Listen, his showdown with John Hack alone and what he's done in terms of like, he was all over those SBD posters. His impact, not just titles, but he's got world titles, junior and open, multiple. He was the heaviest guy to total 10 times body weight.
Yep.
And he's been in some of the biggest showdowns that people give a shit about, and that's important for people to tune in. He's probably in the biggest showdown I know in the IPF against John Hack. I think solid.
Yeah,
And he's got a popular YouTube.
Yeah, he's put in a lot. He's done work.
Okay,
social media
so
wise.
final list. Johnny Candido, Thor, Cece, Heather Connor, Dennis, Odell, Russ, Daniel Bell, Amanda. I don't even know. I don't know who that is. I can't spell. I don't know what I did. I'll come back to that. I know it's a D. Oh, Daniela Mello is Larry Wills. Also we have John Hack, Ray Williams, Kim Walford. We have Brett Gibbs, like you just said, Vanika, myself, Andy, yourself, Six Pack, Brandon, Marisa, Anna. We go with Anna, Brazil.
Rosa Castellane.
Yes, ma'am.
For me,
Sir.
multiple time world champion,
Okay.
in and out of equipment.
Okay. Then we have, like I said, we had talked about Mariana, Yuri Belkin, and Andre.
That's it.
And LS. You say LS?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
said
I
myself.
He put himself number one.
First of
Okay.
all, it's gonna be crazy when this list comes out and Marissa's not even on it. Like, oh, what happened? Oh, how that happened? Oh man,
Did you? I thought you said she was on it.
She was, but she's gonna be taken off. I see
He's
that.
scratching my name out.
I see that there's not a lot of respect coming from.
Take my name out and put it in the dude. She was on Ellen. She was on Ellen.
I understand what she's been able to do, her impact she's had, but I also know how she's managed to burn bridges in the matter of 48 minutes. And people need to learn that when you're on a show and you're invited, you should act accordingly.
Today.
So
People need to-
she. This is all Brandon's fault. I'm taking Brandon off list for suggesting that she comes. See, your actions affect more than one person. You need to know these things. But yeah, so that's that list. I can't wait to have that one up. I can't wait to hear what people have to say about that one. Now,
They're gonna be like, damn, they put themselves on the list. Bunch of fucking chumps.
and they're gonna have to listen to see why we're on the list. Now, this is where it gets fun because this is just us talking about it. We're going to top 5 dead or alive. This can go super quick. Obviously, top 5 dead or alive. I'm gonna say Jesse Norris. I have Jesse Norris on my list. I have Ed Cohen on my list. I'm definitely gonna go with a person that he tends to get overlooked a lot, but he's really, really super impactful in the sport. That's gonna be Gene Bell. Gene Bell is one of my top 5 dead or alive. I'm definitely going to say that's 3 for me. I'm gonna say oh crap. Ooh, now it gets it. All right, I got it. I'm going to go with Kim Walford. And I will say finally, I'm going to say Mark Henry.
Oh shit.
That's my top
This
5.
is a top 5 list of guys you want to finger.
Yeah, that too. That's my top 5 dead or alive. My top 5 dead or alive. So Jesse Norris, Ed Cohen, Gene Bell, Kim Walford, Mark Henry. That's my top 5 dead or alive.
I'd really like to see Jesse Norris's penis.
I mean,
I thought you did.
He wouldn't show me.
Oh, that's
He
right.
wouldn't
That's
show
right.
me. I tried to see that fucker. He held it. I'll get it.
Six pack. Who's your top 5 dead or alive?
Get it?
Top 5 dead or alive. 6 pack. Who do you got?
I like the list. I think I might pop out Bell, pop in Ray.
Okay. So you got Jesse, Eddie, Ray Williams, Kim Walford, and Mark Henry.
I'm a huge Mark Henry guy. I love that you got him in there.
Yeah, man.
And I'm going to try to somehow weasel in Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I don't think I'm allowed.
So who you taking out? You taking out? Are you taking out Kim? Are we taking out Kim and putting in Arnold? Are you taking out Jesse and putting in Arnold? Because if you take out Eddie, then we're gonna have words.
Yeah, Eddie will stab you.
Look at man, I'm on the IPF media team. They'll do this to me and put Eddie on there.
Yeah, so I mean,
I will be kicked off the IPF media team, sir.
it is what it is. So we taking
losing my job.
So you got Jesse, Eddie, or Kim? Who's going?
Officially, Gaston, if you listen to this, take off Eddie, put on Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh my God.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It is what it is. Okay, so you got Jesse,
He's
Arnold,
a Terminator.
Ray.
He's a Terminator, for God's sake.
Now, and you just terminated 3 friendships with that question. All right, so Marissa, I'll save you for last so that you can't say that. All right, so how about this, Brandon? Who you got? Your top 5, dead or alive?
I like your list. I don't know half of the people on it, or some, not half, but some of them. But I mean, obviously for me, Chad deserves to be on that list.
Okay.
And I mean, Stan Efring's got to be close, but I don't know about top 5. I don't know. I think I like your list. Leave it as it is if you're not going to put Chad in.
So we can go. What about this? We go Jesse, Ed, Ray. We will go Chad, Mark Henry.
I like it.
So yeah. So
you got the young gun, and then you got the old stud.
So yeah, we have Ed, Chad, Jesse, Ray, and Mark.
Chad's got those baby blues.
Yeah, he does.
That's basically mine. I had Eddie, Chad, KK,
Oh, okay.
Mark Henry, Ray Williams.
So say that one more time so I make sure I have it.
I had Eddie, Chad, KK, Constantine, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Mark Henry and Ray Williams, and only because KK was like, maybe before he died, like,
Yeah,
everybody, he was like, "This is my belt." He was just very like,
just
he
animated.
He's
just
iconic. He's iconic for sure.
iconic, and he's probably killed like 50 people, and I've heard so many stories. And
Wow.
You know,
Biggest Magnus is pretty badass too.
Who's that, sorry?
Biggest the
Yeah,
1,000 pound deadlift.
Yeah, Benny. Yeah, got you. Yeah. From
Okay.
Iceland, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, dude, those are dope. And then our last thing is your personal Mount Rushmore. Who's on your Mount Rushmore? And of course,
Mount Rushmore is 4, right? So
Yeah,
isn't that
it's 4.
pretty close to?
Oh, you know.
no, well,
You know. Of
Well-
course you know about American history. Canadian history.
if I were to
You
go
guys
to
were
South
frozen in
Dakota
ice.
again, and these are just
Hey,
what I mean. Okay,
Wayne Gretzky.
like I mean, well, my Mount Rushmore would be different from the top 5 dead or alive, just because of what they personally mean to me. So for my top 5 dead or alive, I mean, obviously I'm gonna have not Ray Williams, but I'm gonna have David Ricks on there.
Well.
For me, David Ricks, he would definitely be on one of those. Kim, she would be on my Mount Rushmore. Matt Gary, he would be on my Mount Rushmore. And finally, I would have to go Eddie Cohen. He would be on my Mount Rushmore.
Okay, you know what? Okay, now I feel you. I know where you're going with this. So Mount Rushmore is a little more impactful.
Yeah, it's the
Like
people
a
that, the
flawless
impact.
type deal.
Yeah.
Got you. Now, can I now say Arnold Schwarzenegger if we're
No.
talking?
Oh
Yes,
my
you
God.
can.
Quit trying to make Arnold Schwarzenegger work. You're hemorrhaging friendships right now, my friend. Fine. All right, so for 6-pack, we know that he's. Listen, let me do it for you. First on your.
I mean, I love me some Arnold, but I mean, some powerlifting.
Fine. No, you know what? This is
national
guys. This is his personal.
Got it.
Okay, go ahead.
This is
Ryan.
his personal
Go
Mount
ahead.
Rushmore. So we'll go ahead and put Arnold on there. Fine. Arnold's on there. Awesome. Now, who are your other 3?
It's not a bodybuilding monument. Take him off.
Matt Gary,
Matt Gary. Okay.
Gaston Parage.
Yes.
I got my head.
Good job.
I hurt when I say that. And let me see. How many more?
You got one more. You got Arnold, Matt Gary, Gaston, and you got one more.
I got one. Oh, fuck. Ray.
Ray Williams.
Ray. First man. Yeah, because man
I'd say
on
Ray too.
Okay, so
All right.
Brandon.
I don't know. I don't have I think Ray needs to be up there. I think Ed Cohen needs to be up there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just hard to tell, man.
What about Stan? I know you've mentioned Stan before. Would he be more of a Rushmore than?
No. If it was talking about strength sports or just the fitness community, yes, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But powerlifting only.
For your personal, for your personal Rushmore.
I mean, fuck, man. As much as I hate to say it, there's an argument for Yuri to be up there.
Okay.
He's done some incredible things, and he's putting up nasty numbers.
Stupid numbers, man.
As a little man.
So you got Ray, Ed, Yuri, and the final one. Who would you have? You going to South Dakota? You got to visit something. You go see Rushmore. Who's going to be that
The
final person?
winner of Big Dogs 4. Pen down. Game over. To be determined. It's pending. Hold the chisels. Hold the chisels.
Winners.
My book is closed.
My book is closed.
I cannot. This dude. What about Dan Green?
I thought it was a personal Mount Rushmore. Isn't this supposed to be people who you?
Yeah.
Only personal than it's Chad. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's personal than Chad.
Chad, it is. Winners of Big Dog
My
4. Okay, Marisa, you got it, sweetie. Let's get
Okay,
it.
my personal one, Kim Walford. She's gone to bat for me when I was supposed to be on the team to go to Sweden Worlds. Long story. Anyways, she was the athlete representative, and she went to bat for me. And I know to this day, if I needed her do something for me, she'll go to bat for me on that. And Kim is awesome in that regard. At anytime I have issues, problems, text Kim. I mean, who knows what Kim does with the FBI, but I don't know. She's probably a sniper.
Something.
Oh, you can't say that on here.
She said, well, if it's true, then
of course, CWS, because I mean,
because you're banging him.
shut up.
oh my God, this.
I mean, it's been in my corner since 2014, and you know, obviously makes that list. Susie Hartwig.
Yes.
One of my biggest competitors when I first started, but her and Matt, when I did my first international meet in South Africa, just took me under their wing. I mean, no, I'm competing against his wife, and he's just like, hey, you know, you need to do it this way. You need to warm up this way. I was there by myself. And they've always just been cool like that. Even at one point, Matt, when I had asked Matt about coaching, he's just like, well, he's like, you know, my wife, if she, you know, that's a little bit touchy, I'm always here to help you. They're just like really cool people.
Right.
And even now, like Susie was in the back cheering me on when I was taking her spot. So it's like, that's
class
a cool person to compete against, because, you know, like regardless, you'll be friends afterward.
Exactly.
And then, of course, for me, Liz Craven.
Oh, that is so okay. Look at you.
I hope she comes back to the IPF, because it sucks that she's kicked out. But another person for me who's like, we've gone back and forth competing, and we still maintain a friendship after the fact.
Yeah, man.
And it's just people like that make competing fun, because they push you to be better, but at the same time, there's not like any animosity there. And to this day, like, I hope she comes back to the IPF, because she's just fun to compete against. I like competing against people that.
It kind of sucks not having Australia compete.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
That there's always kind of a chasm when you go there. I mean, you expect to see the crazy Aussies running around doing their thing, and you don't see them.
It's a different electricity in the back when they're not there. When like people that have been your right.
It's like you really like to see all the Commonwealth there, because they go nuts when they're all together. So yeah, that's
if I had like a dream IPF Worlds where I was competing, it would be like me, Sophia Loft coming back, of course Joy, Liz Craven, and Jen Rotzinger.
Dang.
No, just to see, like, because everyone's like, oh, well, you know, this is different than this, or this person beat you. Well, then let's just fucking bring everybody 2 hour weigh in, stiff bar.
Let's get it popping.
Yeah.
Damn. Let's get it popping. I'm about to identify as Marisa Inda's class. I can compete with you.
I'm about to identify.
Taking on all comers.
They lose.
Dude, yo, we knocked all lists out in an hour and 20 minutes. That's what's up.
Not bad.
That's really not bad. I honestly, high key thought it was gonna be like, this is gonna take us like 2 hours, 3 hours tops.
My dietary habits don't allow that.
It was actually, you know what, 25. Initially, you're thinking that's a lot of people, but then once you start thinking of who you have to kick off, it's
man.
like, oh my god, there's some big people we have to kick off this list.
Yeah.
Like,
I just started
champions who aren't making it.
As y'all were talking, I just started booting people. Like, look, I'm just gonna do it on the low, so I can just knock it out, because when you start saying it out loud, that's when it starts kind of impacting. Like, oh my god, dude, we're kicking this person out. We're kicking this person out. Like there's some people that got booed. I'm like, I never thought. I didn't think I was have to boot Jen Thompson, but she got the boot.
I think before you publish that, you got to take me off and put Marisa in there.
No, you're in there, Marisa's in there.
He's scratching my name out just because he's mad.
No, I'm not mad. First of all, I'm pissed. It's different. I'm just like, no, no, Marisa's in there. I said her name.
Oh, did you? Okay, I didn't catch it.
Yeah,
right, cool.
You know what I mean? It's in there. I mean, I'm petty, but I'm not that petty. I'm not gonna be that petty, like, to her face. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until after we hang up. I'm like, yeah.
And then block, unfollow.
I was like, I don't know what happened, Brandon. Why am I blocked? I don't get it. Why are you being this way?
Because you're not professional.
Oh. This guy getting his jab in.
Professional after you be blocked, man.
All right, so we're done with that. We only have one last thing to do. Does everyone have their song? I hope you have your song.
I got a song.
I
don't know.
Listen, even if you only
understand Brandon's song, it's like metal. Like screaming.
Oh yeah, is it hardcore?
I didn't pick any song because I'm not drunk enough to sing a song. Okay. I've only had 2 glasses of whiskey. I'm sorry.
He hasn't done anything he's supposed to this whole podcast, so.
Brandon's just like freaking.
No, Brandon came tight with his list.
I've been sending Marisa feet pics this whole time. And she's really fucking acting.
And all that time, you could have been picking a song, my guy.
Oh, I know. I was too intrigued by what you guys had to say with all these USA PL lifters.
What's your song?
Are you going as well, LS?
Oh, yeah, I'll go. I don't care. I have tons of
Let
songs.
me see that thong.
Oh
There
my
you go,
God.
Brandon. That can be your song right there. That can be your song. Look up the lyrics. Boom. That's your song. You can do the. You can do the.
I got to read my lyrics. Hold on a second.
All right.
I need to play a beat, otherwise it's not going to be on.
No,
beat.
you good. Go for it. Do what you gotta do.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, he's got this.
I see no changes. Wake up in the morning and I ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself? I'm tired of being poor and even worse than black. My stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a person snatch. Cops again to be hero. Pull the trigger, kill. He's a hero. Giving crack to the kids. Who the hell cares? One less hungry mouth on the welfare. First shipping dope, let them deal the brothers. Giving guns, set back, watch them kill each other. It's time to fight back, that's what Huey said. 2 shots in the dark, now Huey's dead. Look, I got love for my brothers, but we can never go nowhere unless we share with each other. We gotta stop making changes. Learn to see me as a brother instead of 2 distant strangers. And that's how it's supposed to be. How can another take a brother if he's close to me? I'd love to go back to when we played as kids, but things change. That's the way it is.
That's what I'm talking about. Six pack. He starts things off super strong.
We were just
strong.
kidding because nobody else is doing it but you, Ryan.
What? Marisa, you're not doing it?
No, I was just messing with him.
Oh, I was like, oh man, these guys. That's.
This ain't a rap battle though, because my song is not a rap battle song.
That's okay. What is it? Is it something?
Huh?
Beyonce?
Is it what? Beyonce? No. I went way back with Lisa Stansfield. This is after IPS.
Oh my God! I've been around the world. Is
yes,
that? Oh
but
my
God! Because this was my song after Worlds when I couldn't hit squat depth.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Why are you hating, Ella?
No, I
Don't act
honestly.
like this ain't around your time, your era.
First of all,
recording.
I was about to applaud you, but again,
Oh.
you know what? Never mind. Just go do what you gotta do. You know?
No, I changed the lyrics though. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Been around the world and I can't find my squat depth. I don't know when. I don't know why. Why it's gone away and I don't know where it can be. My squat depth, but I'm gonna find it.
Oh my God.
This is more entertaining for us because Marisa is topless, just for all the viewers to know.
Brandon, tell me you have a song. You have anything.
I don't. No, I don't. I'm not drunk enough. I'm sorry, man.
You got the thong song. You just did the thong song.
I don't have a. I don't. Yeah, I don't know lyrics well. Look, I'm a degenerate. I just smoke pot all day.
You go dong, 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 dong.
There it is.
Tell me, you know
That's
why?
it.
Because it's like heavy metal screaming. When
The
nobody
thong song is just saying dong over and over.
I haven't heard that song in probably 20 years. I don't even know where that came from.
You're right.
That came from your heart.
I don't even know where it came from. I was just looking at LS and I was like, I want to know what kind of underwear he's wearing.
Like, I don't wear underwear, free baller all day.
LS, what's your song?
I will go with My Girl. It's
My
easy.
Girl?
My Girl. I got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I got the month of May. Brandon, I guess you say what can make me feel this way. Podcast. I was just messing. Man, honestly, you guys, thank you guys so much. This was a lot of fun. Real appreciate it. Brandon, you're 0 for 2.
I know it, man.
0 for 2.
I redeemed myself.
That you did. I do appreciate that. Obviously, Six Pack freaking went above and beyond. He had a freaking track
really
and everything.
He had it like backed up. And
He's like, I'm glad I've got this cued.
Hey,
6,
I
7,
walked
8.
out of this with my dignity.
Say what? But yeah, man. But I appreciate you guys. This thing, this is gonna be fun. I think people are gonna have a blast when they listen to this one. Let's go down line, man. Six Pack, where can you be reached, my friend?
King of Lifts, man. Always, we got podcasts drop. Like I recorded 3 podcasts this weekend. In the last 3 days, man, 4 podcasts, including this one. So
Grinding.
Go to King of Lifts. We're constantly putting out content as per usual. Just dropped the Matt Gary USAPL recap show and the 74 Kilo Boys episode.
Oh.
So yeah,
That's
YouTube and
that 74 is gonna be hot, bro. God,
Dude, there was some trash talking in there.
man, if you would have been in the back, you would have been. I was like, oh, that's how it is back there. Okay, locker room, straight locker room mentality. All right, Marisa, where can you be reached, my friend?
At Marisa Inda everywhere.
Oh God.
Oh, she's everywhere, guys. She just puts it all out there.
Oh
Really,
my God.
real easy to get a hold of.
And of course, the clown prince himself, Brendan Allen. Where can you be reached?
Brandon_Allen88, and yes, that is my birth year on Instagram. And that's the only place you're gonna find me, because you fucking crazy people, I can't be anywhere else without getting harassed.
And of course, your podcast, right?
The Broadcast.
The Broadcast.
That Asian guy. Coming right in your ear.
Any projects you guys have anything coming up?
Me? I'm just trying to be a normal person again.
Are you just trying to get healed up?
He can finally wipe his own ass, so well.
That's the positive. I haven't been on gear for a while. I can reach things. I gave myself a handy the other day with my leg up on a stool, and I reached around on the bottom side, and I was able to pull down in a different stroke, and it was nice. It was nice. It was good.
So you're saying that you're coming over to USAPL is what you're saying?
No, I was just trying to break in the new house, and I did it with the windows open, and if any neighbors looked in, hey, that's their fault.
Love is the best kind of love.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Anything coming up on your horizon, Ryan? No competitions, anything?
Well, I tore a calf, so competitively, no, not until like 2020. Maybe the Masters, if I'm good in time, the Masters, World Championships, IPF. But in terms of like everything else I got going on every single week, doing dropping podcasts. The European Championships for the IPF is rolling around, so we got a preview recap show and the SPD Invitational, my man.
Oh yeah, the old Sheffield.
Have you guys heard about that? It's kind of a big deal.
The old Sheffield.
I really hope they hype it up good, because otherwise, you gotta create something.
Guys, I
can't say too much. I'm gonna hype the shit out of it.
Yeah, but that's another podcast. But yeah.
That's a whole nother podcast. We might have to do a Sheffield preview.
We got time for that. It's hot in here. I'm sweating.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Marisa, you have anything coming up soon or no?
No, I probably won't do anything till Worlds. I mean, we'll see. I mean, something pops up and it intrigues me. Aside from that, I'll just wait till Belarus. Got to get my invite first, you know.
Oh yeah. Let me know how Belarus is for you, because I ain't never going back to that motherfucker. That's for sure.
Good last time.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, one and done Belarus. I hope they hear me. I'm never going back to Belarus. And if you're an athlete going to Belarus, you probably shouldn't go. All right, now that's been said, you guys are loved. You guys are appreciated. I really do appreciate this. This means more to me than I can explain to you guys. This thing will be up ASAP, Rocky. So, yeah, man, that's it. We knocked it out. The list is knocked out.
Love you, brother.
Love you guys too, man. Thank you guys so very much, man.
I appreciate you having me on. I do like so many podcasts in the week, so I don't like doing extra podcasts. But when you ask, I'm like, fuck. How am I going to say no to LS?
Oh, yes, because you heard Marisa was going to be on it.
I heard Marisa was coming on, so.
Oh, that's your only reason?
That's the only reason. That's the only reason any of us did it.
In video? Ooh.
They thought it was going to. I think Brandon, she's going to be on it. It's going to be a fans only. What? I'm there. And it turned out it wasn't.
Swipe up.
Real estate.
All right, man. You guys be good, man. We'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night.
Bye, fellas.
Later, everybody.
Later, man. What's up, people? LS. First and foremost, thank you guys for joining us on this journey that is McLean and Circle. Appreciate you guys, you know what I'm saying, coming through and listening. Now, got some important news for you. All your apparel, like this right here, can be found at McLean Circle. Simple. Go to lsmclean.com, hit that shop button. That's where we're at. Thank you guys very, very, very much. Also, coaching by yours truly can be found at lsmclean.com. Thank you very, 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 very much. And finally, you want to know what goes on in my life? Whatever. You probably don't, but it is what it is. Guess what? lsmclean.com. Thank you very, 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 very much.